Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another incredible match here at Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. Tonight, we have got, I want to say that these teams must be a glutton for punishment because they already went at it pretty strong last week, but they'll be going at it once again tonight. Game of Thrones versus Phoenix Rising in another exhibition match as we await their finals matches in the upcoming weeks. But tonight, each team will be playing in their off roles. Will they be able to show the strength with their other dominance, or will they end up faltering to those secondary skills? I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Zella on the color and Trippy on production. Zella, what do you think we're going to see from these teams tonight?
You know, honestly, as someone who was on Phoenix Rising and up until just recently, I believe that both teams, in general, have very strong flex players, to say the least. And I definitely believe that both these teams are going to come out swinging tonight.
All right. Well, I'm really excited to see that happen. Let's go ahead and introduce our teams before we get to our first match of the evening. For Game of Thrones, we have Wheezy Did Nothing, Serieth, Crazy Lady, Stressed, Skittles, and Sinks. Who do we got for Phoenix Rising?
On Phoenix Rising, we have Chi-Chi and SF Myena on the tanks, Hunter, Ghost, and Paprika coming in on DPS, and Kobayashi and Darius Fulton on the support.
Oh boy, sounds like a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and get this night started whenever the teams are ready to go. Our first map of the evening is going to be Ilios. So we're going to be seeing some boops, some bombs, all kinds of great things. Ilios is an incredible map that has a lot of diversity. I think the controls really lend to diversity throughout their 3 different maps, and it all depends on where we start as to what we could see coming out, especially with the new buffs and nerfs that have come in the most recent patch. And it looks like we'll be starting off on Ilios Well. So Boop Central is our first map of the evening here on Ilios. And definitely a lot of different things we could see. We could see the Orisa just recently got a buff for her travel speed, as well as her pull or her halt ability. And we've got Hog, we've got Lucio, just so many different ways that we could see a lot of bodies piling up in that well tonight. Zella, what do you see coming out so far?
First off, we are seeing the Roadhog picks on both sides, not completely unexpected, solely because of the fact that we did see those buffs come through. We also see Hunter coming in on the Pharah. With the recent changes, I'm also not completely surprised that that's changed here, but we are seeing a Torb on the other side, so who knows?
Ooh, Crazy going for the Torb, looking to do damage instead of sending them into the well. Let's see if they can make it happen. Weezy also coming out on the Orisa, so we'll be able to provide a lot of support there, but Kobayashi on the Lucio will be able to get some boots in as well. But a lot of Pharah damage coming in from Hunter from the sky right now as they try to push into the objective. Chi-Chi on the side as the tackle comes in. Sariath ends up getting hooked out of the line of Mighty right there, but it looks like control of the objective will go ahead and start off for Phoenix Rising as we see Stress find themselves with the self-kill right there. They're going to go ahead and regroup and spawn 10% in climbing for Phoenix Rising.
That was a pretty quick fight, honestly. You saw one person go down, and then Game of Thrones just said, yeah, we're going to back out. We're not going to worry too much about it. I just hope that wasn't a big detriment to them losing all that much ground that quickly.
That is true, and you got to remember that these players are playing on their off roles tonight. So as we see Stress swapping over to the McCree, although it might be a hero that they may be decent at, it is not their primary character. So getting that bar out of the sky may be a huge challenge. But Crazy Lady starting things off as they take down Mighty, but the rest is going to come in from Darius, going to keep things going. Sariath following up on Mighty, taking them out once again. Big hook coming in, doesn't seem to grab what it's looking for. Dynamite trying to do some damage there for Paprika. Ultimate's coming online right now as we see Valkyrie in the skies. Paprika and Kobayashi both getting kills as the Molten Core coming out, just laying out the red carpet to try to allow them into the objective, but not going to do a lot against Hunter and Darius from the sky right now. It looks like we are going to see Sariath try to move around to the side, seeing if they can get a pick on their own, but they have already got sought out. Weezy and Hunter trading kills as we see the whole Hog get stunned out by Stress, and now we're going to see the whole Hog send Mighty into the well, but not before Chi-Chi takes Sariath out. Now the bomb coming in for Paprika. Deadeye from Stress takes Paprika out of the fight as the sweep charge takes Bob down. Bongo's now coming in, trying to do some damage, getting into that objective, trying to see if they can get control for Raj. Coming in from the back line from Hunter. Oh, able to get Skittles and Weezy with the Bongos still surviving, providing that power for right now. The only one left on the objective right now is Kobayashi, incredibly low, trying to get that objective in their favor and trying to keep it going, but Stress is going to take them out in the end, and the percentage is going to start to climb for Game of Thrones.
But even though the percentage is climbing here, we see that Game of Thrones is at a slight ult deficit, having to use 3 ults in that fight. This is only control of the point. We see the Shatter online here for SF. Never mind, he's in the well.
Big hook and anti-nade right there will take down the main tank for the side of Phoenix Rising. And we see Kobayashi trying to play the red at Lucio, but not going to be strong enough, and Stress takes him out. Paprika trading that kill on Stress as the turret of Crazy takes down Hunter and Paprika. Gonna just do a lot of damage to those CPS, 37% and climbing, as we see the possible re-engage here, or at least just trying to get some full percentage right here for the side of Phoenix Rising. Molten Core, though, now coming out from Crazy Lady just trying to push them off the objective and will be successful, giving them a little room to breathe. 55% climbing.
We do have a little bit of breathing room here, but Phoenix Rising just said, hey, we're just going to walk around. But Stress manages to pick off Darius and things. Well played by him.
That's right, and Hook coming in once again. Syrian on fire with those hooks right now, but here comes the big old hog for getting stunned out once again. Oh my gosh! Stress gets hooked, but is able to roll out before any additional damage is done to take them out of the fight. Sync and Stress taking down Paprika and Kobayashi. It looks like Game of Thrones is really turning this around as we head into final fight here.
You see the Bob come online here, so with SF taking out 2 here, you might be able to get the quick reset on, especially with the Bob.
That is true. The tackle coming in there from Mighty, but gonna get taken down by Darius right there. The turret just kind of blocking Gigi in position as the Bob comes out. Looks like Sirius gonna look to take care of it with the hook, trying to earn it up, and there goes the Bob right down in the wells. The rest comes in for Hunter. Paprika following up on the Crazy Lady right there as they try to hold on. Sirius pushing in with the whole hog, trying to see if they can get any picks on the objective. The big hook comes in, but gets canceled out by the shield tackle. Barrage coming in, trying to regain control, and will be in overtime. Ticks away quickly, and the objective finally will go back to Phoenix Rising 100-99 here on Elios Well.
SF really did manage to win that round for the team. They managed to open up real quickly with 2 well-placed picks, and that just kind of snowballed it into the round win.
That is true.
No,
but now as we head into Lighthouse, still has that a similar sense of boot potential with the objective being surrounded on 3 sides with not very much space to move before getting sent off of it. It looks like we might be seeing some similar picks from the teams. Do you notice any differences there, Zella?
I was initially seeing Chi-Chi picking the ball, but then they switched over to the Zarya here, so we are seeing a little bit of a double bubble here play here coming from Phoenix Rising.
Oh, I've yet to. I don't know why I haven't heard double bubble yet, but that is amazing. Grew up with that old bubble gum right there. Seeing this double bubble Winston Zarya comp come out has been really huge and competitive lately. But the Diva Ryan coming out as Sync able to get the first pick on to Hunter Ghost. But the objective's gonna go in favor right now of Phoenix Rising as they were on it when it unlocked. But the picks are coming in right now. Immortality Field coming up for Skittles as they continue to try to push into the objective. The Spencer turret trying to keep them at bay. Big tackle coming in on to Mighty, trying to take them out of the objective as Stress gets the double kill. Hunter's Ghost ends up taking Skittles, but will end up escaping there at the end. Just gonna yeet themselves right over the side as we see Game of Thrones take control, starting their percentage climb.
That probably was a little bit of a good idea, but I feel like it would have been better for him to just try and get out in that situation with the mines, solely because of the fact that most of his team was already starting to respawn by the time that he actually fell off.
And it could have just been that they didn't have the second concussion mine to get them back to the space, so they were just trying to keep from adding any additional hold charge there. Could have been a lot of different things. Now we're seeing them dive right back into the action as the Immortality Field's coming out for both sides now. Kobayashi coming in on the Batiste as well. High Noon coming out from
Picking up 4!
Team kill rings loud and proud as that cleanup from the Deadeye allows Game of Thrones to stand strong 50% and climbing.
Such a very, very satisfying ult when you actually manage to top it off and you get at least more than 3 kills, I would say. Seeing those kills light up in the kill feed must have been absolutely amazing for Stress.
Especially there on the ground, like it's hard enough trying to get it up on the high ground where you have a lot more space to work with, but you're really having to work the angles there on the low ground. Tire coming out from Hunter's Ghost as the beat gets invested to try to keep them up. Immortality as well. As we see the percentage climbing, Tackvisor now coming out from Crazy Lady trying to provide some support as Bubbles, Primal, Winston coming out from Mighty right there. Diva Bomb now on the objective with Winston Primal. Cannot keep that going. Big shatter coming in from Sirius, but the coalescent and damage from Kobayashi is not going to allow that to hold on there. They will get up to the 99%, but control will swap back over to Phoenix Rising.
Honestly, it was probably one of the strongest fights that we've seen coming out from CR during the second round here. But now we just have to see if they're willing to hold it. A lot of the damage coming out down the main Hunter goes with that jump grab.
And already getting the DMAC on the high ground against Easy right there. As we see Winston jumping into the action. Mighty trying to see if they can get some damage in. Graviton Surge ends up grabbing 3 at the high noon. Comes out. Immortality Field is up. Trying to see if they can... Oh! Just barely wasted out, but will end up trading blows there right off the objective. Only 2 remain. Kobayashi and Darius Holden right now on the objective, trying to hold out against the damage that is coming in, and Stress will end up getting the double kill now, pushing back. Hunter's Ghost is Wheezy, Tire, and Matrix online. Here comes the Tire, trying to get it, but can't get there in time. Tying it up here at the Lighthouse, 1-1 is Game of Thrones.
Score.
Very strong showing coming out from Game of Thrones, saying, hey, we might be playing our off rolls and you might be as well, but that doesn't mean that we're not equal teams on equal footing. Taking it right to a third round here, just on the very first map.
Well, that's a good way to start things out for sure. Now, this is the one that always seems to get us, especially myself, when it comes to strategy, because Helios Ruins is so completely different from the other 2 maps. There's very little boot potential. The objective is very centered, and you gotta get those long sightlines taken care of. It doesn't look like we have any Widow or Hanzo action coming out from either side, but it looks like Paprika will go ahead and go back on the act. Stress stick on the creep.
You know, I'm kind of curious as to how they're planning on using this main here, solely because of the fact that, yeah, you can wall up one, I think, but there's 2 or 3 different other locations coming from.
That is true, but maybe it's more so about point presence, trying to take control of the objective. Not going to work out well, though, with Stress getting those picks. Hunter ends up falling as Paprika following up onto Crazy Lady, so the 4v5 fight is controlled. Starts out there for the side of Game of Thrones. They are now trying to push back Phoenix Rising as they now regroup from 5v5, now 6v5. And Phoenix Rising favor. The May wall ends up falling off. Stress prevent that damage off to the side as they push back into the objective. Now a 6v6 fight once again. Stress gets the first pick there on Darius Bolton. As we see the damage continuing to pile in without their main healer, it's going to be very hard for them to push in. But here we see big Amp Fire Strike coming in from Mighty. Gets the double kill on the healers. Diva Bomb now coming in from Wheezy as the Deadeye from Stress ends up cleaning it up before the Diva Bomb goes off. 45% and climbing for Game of Thrones.
You know, unfortunately for SF, there was no way that he could really shield both in that situation. The Diva Bomb was on his back, whereas he also had the McCree ult on his front. There was nothing he could really do to block both in that situation.
Yep, yeah, and that's the good timing of those ultimates. Using them paired like that, it pretty much creates a lose-lose situation. But now we got the Fara Mercy back into the action. Kobayashi and Hunter taking to the skies once again, looking to see if they can grab some value. And Matrix coming out. Shatter ends up getting 2, but will get deleted right there by Crazy Lady. Getting the double kill on the tanks. Here comes the Tire. Looking to see if it can grab some additional value, but we see Paprika just getting around the corner before it goes off. I want to say thank you to IZ Senpai in the chat for the 100 bits. Always appreciate the support as we go into final fight territory. Bob just barely able to touch the objective as Nano goes in on to Mighty. Shatter coming in from Darius, but without a whole lot of healing, cannot hold up against the bomb. Paprika coming in with the dynamite, ends up taking Sync out of the action. It is a 4v5 fight now on the objective as they try to regain control of the mech. Coming back in for Weezy as they try to take care of Mighty and will be successful as Crazy Lady following up on Chi-Chi. Darius and Weezy ends up getting the big spawn to Kobe, and Darius pushing them off the objective, and Game of Thrones will take Ilios 2-1 in our matchup tonight.
Very strong matchup that we're seeing, regardless of whether people are on their off rolls or not. We're still seeing players perform to an exceptional level, especially with seeing Stress here with that 4K McCree on the ground.
It's
Quintuple kill. Team.
That is huge right there. And just like overall eliminations and doing just such an incredible job. Wheezy typically on the healer role, doing great on that diva throughout the entire round as well. I was really impressed by the way that she, can, because sometimes when you play a role so many times, you forget that you have different responsibilities when you switch roles. But Wheezy was totally on top of that, peeling off to try to get people that were out of position as diva all the time, trying to suck up as much damage as possible. It was definitely great to see that. Looking in the chat, it seems like we see Big Nahati asking what division these teams are in. Thank you, Senpai, for answering that. This is our... always forget what we have these named.
It's Deadlock Division.
That's right. We got the Deadlock Division tonight, which is high silver to low gold, if I believe.
No, it's silver. It is silver and gold.
It is just silver and gold.
Yes.
It reminds me of the old song, Silver and Gold. Silver. That's the Christmas song.
Not yet, Jack.
No,
you got a little bit yet.
No, I love Halloween. No. How dare that song touch my lips yet? Right.
But regardless, we are seeing both teams come out strong here. Chi-Chi, I feel like one of the reasons why Chi-Chi is playing tank in this situation is because of the fact that he's normally a healer main, so he still has that intuition to attempt to protect his team, just in a slightly different way.
Gotcha. And that can definitely work out for them very well. Big picks coming in for Stressed and Crazy Lady as well, who I think Stressed, is typically tank role with Crazy on support. Do I understand that correctly?
Yeah.
So seeing them both just absolutely pop off on DPS is showing the absolute strength that a lot of these players have. Seen that very similarly with Hunter Ghost and Paprika as well, playing on their off roles for DPS tonight. The teams are definitely showing up regardless of what roles they are playing. Our next map is going to be Eichenwald. So go ahead, start popping off in the chat. Do you think Game of Thrones is going to go ahead and take this 2-0 before the half? Or do you think Phoenix Rising has a chance to rise to the occasion here on Eichenwald and tie it up before we go to halftime?
Jack,
Yep.
You always seem to amaze me with the amount of puns that you can come up with, or at the very least, dad jokes.
Yeah, they just come to me. It's all part of being a dad. It's like you get an immediate upgrade as soon as the baby comes, and it just comes to you like as you're talking. So
Gotcha. It's not a sense of humor developed over many, many years.
Oh no, totally not. It's not an evolutionary trait. It's an immediate upgrade that just like a computer. You just stick it in and boop, 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 and there it is.
That's
absolutely
fantastic.
Great. All right, it looks like our teams
both teams are ready here. So
yeah, let's go ahead and get the show on the road once again. Now, Eichenwald is always a map I truly enjoy because it has a blend of a lot of different aspects. Like first, you have the control aspect, or the assault aspect rather, on the first objective that you have to unlock the payload, and then I think this is one of the few maps that during the payload push, you actually have a pretty big chance for environmentals. Looks like we ended up losing Chi-Chi in the start of the game there, so we're gonna go ahead and pause and wait for them to get back in the action. But as I was saying, for the second part of Eichenwald, you've got the long bridge, which is absolutely big on the boobs. Like you come in with a Lucio or a Farah or Hammond or Orisa or Hog, like anyone that can boop, like you'll see a lot of swaps come in there so that they can try to take them off the objective as easily as possible. Because we all know just sending them over the side, is much easier than trying to pour a whole bunch of bullets into them. And Senpai in the chat just absolutely blowing up with all the mini bits right now. I want to fight stressed on McCree. I've only started playing the game, and McCree and Genji is my favorite. Hopefully, when I reach 150, I'll be able to play with or against you. Phoenix Rising has a chance. If they can't shut down stressed, they'll be stressed. Love it.
That's absolutely fantastic. Honestly, I feel like Eichenwald is one of those maps where it's nice and everything, don't get me wrong, but it's constantly passed over by King's Row, and when it is finally played, everyone still enjoys it.
Initiating
I feel like King's Row has such a diverse ability to be able to play so many different compositions, whereas other maps like Blizzard World or Eichenwald are just very either aesthetically pleasing maps or just very just enjoyable to play. And honestly, I wish they got more attention. But as we know, typically we don't see them because King's Row is pretty much the only strategy anyone has for hybrid, like at all. So yeah, it's the only map we ever see.
Yeah, it's always entertaining to see what's going on here. We are seeing Hunter and Paprika picking up the tank rolls here. I'm actually quite interested to see what goes on here. Also, we do have Stress picking up the Torb as well. Why are we not surprised that Torb is being played here?
I mean,
hey,
hard work pays off.
Hard work pays off.
Hard work pays off, man.
Aardvark pays off?
Aardvark pays off?
Aardvark.
Defend objective A.
Alright, so now we see those swaps coming in for the rolls. Still playing off rolls for the side.
He was lying to us. He's playing on. We all know he's a sport mate.
Well, we will see if that's the case. Crazy getting the first pick onto Kobayashi, though. Looking to slow down this push as we see the damage coming in from both sides. That orb turret and the laser of Sariath right now just pouring in a lot of damage into this choke. Paprika able to get the pick on to Stress's turret, though, so that'll alleviate some of the damage coming in. Barrier going down, though, for both Hunter and Weezy right now as they try to absorb as much damage as possible. They're trying to create some space, but not seeing a whole lot going in here. Darius also coming in on this one.
Hammering away.
It's almost like a Torb turret battle right now, because you just see that both Darius and Stress putting up the turrets and then just hammering behind them. And just see
they are having anything in the fight.
Oh man, the Stress able to get that pick onto Mighty though, and they are just locking down this choke right now. Like we are just seeing an absolute shutdown right here for Game of Thrones. And Phoenix Rising walked away last week in our Mystery Heroes Challenge with the victory 3-2. So seeing Phoenix Rising kind of falling right here is definitely difficult to watch.
Yeah, and you can definitely say that's all people, but with the amount of damage, with the amount of damage that we're seeing coming out from Game of Thrones, especially through such a hard scope like Eichenwald is, I'm kind of surprised that we aren't seeing a little bit more of a damage coming out from PR.
That is true. Well, you being the coach, would say that, but the Bob and Nano get invested. Molten cores for both sides going down as Stress is just picking up pick after pick, just like Senpai say in the chat. If they can't shut down Stress, they'll be stressed, and they are really stressed right now as they pull back once again. A minute 30 remaining on the clock as Phoenix Rising just having a hard time pushing in. Diva Bomb comes in though, ends up getting synced. But, you know, we saw that Easy was not worried about it because they got the bubble.
Counter Shatter coming in for Hunter.
Coming in for Hunter right there as they go ahead and push into the objective. This might be exactly what they need. Darius in on the maze. Paprika just cleaning it up right now. Ends up getting back due to the torp turret, but the damage already done with a minute on the clock. It looks like they will grab objective Alpha and start moving that payload forward.
Kobayashi picking up the Pharah here, second point with Darius on the main. Very strong showings coming here. Crazy Lady deciding to stay on the Junkrat, while we do have Stress coming in with the free here.
Alright, as we see the payload entering the gates, they are working their way through a lot of space being allowed by the side of Game of Thrones. As we see the payload moving its way forward. Stress sitting on the low ground with everyone else. Tire coming in, but don't you know, Mighty? Transcendence does not prevent the damage of explosives. And that double kill is going to come in huge. Tackle comes into Hunter. Right into a wall after getting the Nano. Not for certain what that was about. Just trying to stick off, you know. But Coalescent coming in return from Sniper Life, trying to see if they can get some picks of Maywall. Gonna separate them out as Stress gets the double kill onto a D-Mac, Paprika, and Hunter's Ghost. They will go ahead and shut down that push for now. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
You know, I'm kind of curious as to what the thought process is going on here for PR, solely because of the fact that we're seeing a lot of, you know, really basic mistakes coming out here, and we're not, you know, seeing anything to capitalize off of, for, you know, aside from a select few mistakes.
I definitely can understand that, but I can also see as your coach while you're being a little hard on them. Wheezy coming in, ends up getting the tackle on Hunter. High Noon coming in, looking to see if they can get a pick, but gets separated out by the Maywall, and will get that pick in the back line. Shatter coming in from Wheezy, ends up getting two right there. Crazy will follow up onto Darius Bolton. Minute 25 remaining on the clock as we see the continued struggle for Phoenix Rising.
I mean, at the very least, they did get that 1 point, so it's not, it's not a draw situation for them. They still have a win condition.
Yep.
However, you know, we see Paprika swap over to the Zarya here a little bit late. I'm not completely sure if he's going to be able to get that grab up in time, especially with Crazy Lady already having their entire online with Darius coming up on their grab.
Well, that is true, but I think that combination might actually allow them to get up quickly. Darius taking down Hunter's Ghost is not going to be a good way to start that off, and GG getting their ultimate interrupted by that death ball from Sniper Life also is not gonna be helpful. The kills keep racking up for Game of Thrones right now. Despite being on off rolls, they are on point with only 30 seconds remaining as they continue to lock down the payload.
We do see the Shatter coming in here for Hunter. Hopefully that might be able to get a little something out of it. Kobayashi coming up with the Bob as well. Might be able to pull something off, engaging with the Blizzard here.
Just a lot of ults invested right there. Shatter, Blizzard, and Bob all getting invested just to get past that. But that we have not even made it to the halfway point yet, folks. And there are still a lot of ultimates, almost every ultimate online except for Wheezy's for the side of Game of Thrones, and they have got to shut them down now before they make it out here. Here they come, moving back in onto the payload. Maywall ends up going up for Darius, and Sniper Life able to take down Kobayashi. They are pushing in a 5v6 right now. Graviton, High Noon coming in. Tire and the Deadeye Shatter coming in as well. And that is it. They did not shut them down before those cues got pressed, and that is going to be a W right there for the defense of Game of Thrones, stalling them just before Objective 2.
Jack, I believe that's what we here in the professional area would call yeeting the board. Game of Thrones threw pretty much every single ult that they had, aside from their Lucio ult, at it, and just kind of expected something to stick.
I mean, I wouldn't say that is necessarily the case. It was definitely set up pretty well. You saw the Graviton come in. You had Stressed on the McCree already on the high ground behind him. That's where Paprika was trying to prevent the damage coming in from. And then you saw Crazy Lady come in with the tire as well. And then with Paprika just trying to figure out where the tire was, the Shatter came in as well to make sure that they could just clean it all up. And I mean, we were in overtime, so I would expect them to use all their ultimates at that point. I think the unfortunate part is that Phoenix Rising used so many ultimates to get past that choke point. They had nothing to defend themselves when we saw all those ultimates come back from Game of Thrones. So good, just thoughtfulness for next time. But I get to get a little boop boop boop. Action stress coming in on the Bastion with Crazy Lady and Sniper Life taking over the Far Mercy this time.
We never know what's going to be going on here. As we do see them heading into the music shop here. A little bit of a more interesting spot to attack from, especially as you come through that main
I think they're just trying to provide maybe a little bit more defense for their Bastion by trying to lock it down with just a tight damage potential right there, or just making it so that they can't involve a lot of damage in. But already Kobayashi getting the first pick on the Stress, and that could be a good way to start that off. Tackle coming in as we see Stress set up in the room along with the rest of the team. They're just kind of slowly, methodically pushing their way in. Not really a pick to be had just yet, but big charges coming in right now. Barrier down to Stress, able to get the first pick on to Chi-Chi. Without a Mercy on their side, not going to be able to rip that up. Kobayashi able to get a pick of their own. As Sirius comes in with the tire, looking to see if they can grab the value as the immortality goes down. They will end up getting it, and Sniper Life goes in with the Battle Mercy, but gets taken down by Kobayashi's turret. Not a tick to be had with 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
In that situation, you're kind of just SOL. You've got the Valkyrie going. You might as well just say, you know what? Might as well just do my best and then just whip out the pistol and go down fighting.
That's right. That's the best way to do it. And lots of ultimates coming online for the side of Phoenix Rising now. They are holding incredibly strong on this defense so far. Crazy Lady trying to figure out a way to take down that Torp turret. As we see the Amp Matrix coming in. Big Shatter and Molten Core coming in from Paprika and Kobayashi. That is going to shut down that push for Game of Thrones right there with 2 minutes remaining on the clock.
We do still see 2 support ults online here for PR along with the Graviton Surge. So who knows, we might see Hunter grab them and then Chi-Chi just pop that Amp Matrix right in front of the grab and go to town.
That's right. That's going to be the best way to do it. A big old fire strike right through the 6 of them. Here it comes, Amp Matrix. Try to start things off. Fire Strike ends up missing everyone right there. Tackle coming in from Paprika. Oh no, we tried to tackle back, but ends up missing them. That's unfortunate. Immortality coming in as well as the Nano from Mighty. Just trying to allow a lot of damage right there. Graviton now in from Hunter's Ghost, but I almost feel like they're getting a little cocky right there, and they paid for it as Paprika ends up falling in that fight with a 5v6 scenario shortly coming in and only a minute on the clock. This is the time to push for Game of Thrones.
Not only with the 5v6, but Game of Thrones has 4 ultimates coming to mind, almost 5 here with Stress.
Goofy laugh for an amazing Shatter right there. Damage coming from above, as well as the Graviton Surge. Darius able to get Crazy Lady with the tire, though. And Matrix now coming in, trying to provide some damage, and Bob ends up going into the side room, takes down the Torp Grid, trying to dole out some additional damage, and Crazy takes down Hunter's Ghost. And with 10 seconds remaining on the clock, they will grab. Oh no, Mighty able to get back as the Lucio is just barely trying to hold on to the objective, but gets taken down by Sinks, and it doesn't look like anybody else will be able to get back to the objective in time. They will grab the objective from the jaws of defeat, giving them 2.5 minutes to push to its final rescue.
Of course, we all know it, and it's going to be the fun part here. You got the lovely bridge, and you got all this high ground on the castle that can be worked with, especially with Crazy here on the Pharah.
That can definitely work out for them for sure. Looking in the chat right now, Senpai is saying a Genji or Pharah would work great, and we are seeing that Pharah coming out from Crazy right there. Big shatter though, coming in from Paprika, not able to get the tackle though, not a lot of follow-up either. Things does end up falling there. A Wheezy getting followed up on by Darius as well. That's going to go ahead and push them back just a little bit, running some more time on that clock.
And not only is more time off the clock here, we also see Kobayashi having their Molten Core, as well as Hunter coming up onto the Graviton here.
That is a deadly combo indeed. As we see the Matrix coming in, the Fire Strike gets used a little early, so not going to get the value that they were looking for there. Dynamite coming in, bad shatter from Wheezy as the Molten Core tries to prevent the damage coming in from Wheezy. Mighty does end up falling, but so does Wheezy and Matrix now coming in as the Molten Core just all over the objective. Bob also getting invested in the fight, trying to prevent any damage coming in from that Matrix, and Stress is blowing it up with that Bob, allowing them to push through this choke. 45 seconds on the clock.
With 45 seconds on the clock, we do have the Nano, and we do see Darius start popping out the tire here. Only managing to catch the Immortal shield, though.
Yep, that is going to be helpful for them. Tackle coming in from Wheezy. Is Stress able to take down Paprika before the tackle actually completes? They are back in on the objective. Graviton Surge coming in, but Stress taking out Kobayashi with the coach gun, trying to push into that objective, and now we see the only one left on the objective, Mighty, trying to hold on with all the power that a grandma has, but it's not going to be enough. Game of Thrones walking away with the skin of their teeth with this victory here on Eichenwald, making it 2-0 before the half.
Honestly, I think PR needs to take a little bit of time in the virtual locker room and just kind of make sure that everything's okay, because honestly, we are seeing, we just need to get a little bit of everything together here. Virtual locker room
is definitely coming out for you there, so I feel like this is a one-sided conversation about PR.
Fair. That is fair. They're doing Game of Thrones though is doing an absolutely fantastic job. I cannot blame them for what's all going on.
Well, I think Phoenix Rising is doing pretty good too. I mean, they held them off for a majority of that match. Like, they only got to that end in the final second. So I feel like Phoenix Rising still doing an incredible job. You know, obviously may have some issues to deal with, but I mean, they're playing their off roles. Like, you know, typically they may not necessarily practice like the additional skills that it takes to fine tune those off rolls if all they're focused on is their main. So it's not surprising to see a little shift, but go ahead, pop off in the chat. Do you want to beep reverse sweep for Phoenix Rising after the half, or do you want
reverse sweep?
Or do you want Game of Thrones to completely yeet the board, taking it 4-0 this evening? We'll be back in about 5 minutes with more Overwatch Cavalry Club scrims.
How about you?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims here in the Deadlock Division. We have got Game of Thrones and Phoenix Rising once again in another exhibition match. Game of Thrones currently holding very strong on our off-rolls exhibition 2-0 before the half. Phoenix Rising looking for a way to rise up against the opposition tonight. So let's see if they can do it as we wait for the next map to be chosen. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Zella on the color. Zella, what do you think as Phoenix Rising's coach they should be doing to turn things around for this upcoming match?
Honestly, we're not seeing them play very together in these situations. We're seeing them play super split from each other. They're not going back and peeling for their healers. And all around, it's not that they're playing poorly, it's just that they're not playing as a team. It looks like they're all playing like individuals.
All right. Well, I would definitely then see that working together as a cohesive unit would work out for them. I mean, it seemed like for the most part that was working out for them, but I think that when we see them separate into those 1v1 situations, it doesn't look like Phoenix Rising is as strong as Game of Thrones, trying to take out either their counter or a subsequent character. And it looks like our next map gonna be Rialto. So lots of boot potential at the beginning of this map. I have seen, very rarely, but I have seen the complete shutdown at the 10-meter mark by just holding that bridge. And I wonder if Game of Thrones has it in them to make that happen.
It's not very often that we see it, but when we do see it, it is always one for the record books, Jack.
It is. It is definitely one for the record books. But I feel some fire rising up inside of me. I feel like Phoenix Rising can bring it back here on Rialto. So as soon as our teams are ready to go, we'll go ahead and get things started. If you like what you've seen so far this evening, be sure to hit that heart, punch that bell, so you get notified every time that we are online. You can also hit that sub button, $4.99, or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will support our amazing community. We always appreciate it. Or just be like Senpai and donate some bits as well. Speaking of Senpai, in the chat, coming up with 5 more bits saying, does PR have a dive character main? And
Not to my knowledge. Last that I was with them, I usually was the one who did that, because I was one of our hit scan players and I could play Tracer. But to my knowledge, I don't know of anyone that is super comfortable on dive heroes.
All right. Well, I wonder if anyone on their off rolls is comfortable on dive, and maybe that might be something that could work out for them. We've seen kind of the blend come out from Game of Thrones so far. We haven't seen a full dedication to a dive, but we have seen kind of the new-ish meta, if you will, with the Winston Zarya during their time on Ilios. So it would be interesting to see if Phoenix Rising has that ability to go full dive. It might turn this around for them if Game of Thrones does not have a way to shut that down. We're just waiting on the ready up for the teams now, folks. So looking in the chat, it looks like we do have some links below that are a little defective. So if you are interested in joining our community, I believe the Discord link still works. And through that, you can connect with our admins if you're interested in becoming a caster or producer like myself, Zella, or Trippy. You can also join one of our amazing teams. Filling in for right now, but when the stage ends or the next season starts, you'll be able to jump in on one of those amazing teams as well. Very interested to see what could come out during this next map for sure. Rialto holds so many different special circumstances depending on where the payload ends up being stalled at. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road. It looks like LL Cool J is just surprised that Cheech plays Lucio. Or is trying to let us know that Cheech plays Lucio.
Cheech plays Lucio. But we are on off rolls at the moment, so we can't exactly rely on Cheech to play the Lucio in this situation because he's not able to play it.
That is true. Oh, I think they're commenting on the. I keep forgetting that the chat's a couple of minutes behind us. I think they're commenting on the dive characters question.
True, so, they definitely could be.
All right, so it looks like we do have some swaps coming in though. We have Sentimental coming in this time around, going to be taking up the main tank role for the side of Phoenix Rising. So
hold up, someone say Sentimental. Guys, we need to get KBC in here.
Oh.
No, I kid. We do still see Wheezy picking up that tank role again with Serious playing their nice, friendly off tanks.
Yeah, it looks like we haven't really seen a whole lot of changes from the side of Game of Thrones. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? But not coming out with the Hog, not coming out with the Orisa to try to get some boops there off of the side. You know, just gonna look to see about holding this corner right here and seeing if they can lock it down. But we're seeing some swaps coming in already. Looks like Hunter and Kobayashi is gonna come in on the Bar of Mercy with Paprika on the Ash. Ore getting taken below. half health as they go back to spawn to get some healing right there. Payload coming around the corner right now as Hunter able to take down Stress's turret and will follow up on the first pick on Skittles.
It looks like
that is huge right there. Mighty following up on their opposite areas right there. And it looks like they are just going to steamroll through the beginning of Objective 1, possibly even locking down Objective 1 with 3 minutes on the clock.
And I think that's what we needed in this situation was a switch up of the main tank. You already see Sentimental coming up on their Shatter compared to Weezy 47% on the Reinhardt. And we get a clean Shatter coming off as well.
Well, couldn't have got that without the big sleep dart coming in from Darius right there to send Lucy into a little nappy time before that Shatter came down. That was absolutely huge for them. It is like we are seeing a completely different Phoenix Rising right now with 5 minutes 10 seconds on the clock. Sentimental is leading the charge as they head into objective number 2.
We're just seeing a very strong lineup here coming out with the change of the main tanks. And I think that's exactly what the team needs, was a little bit of change of the pace. And that would be Sentimental coming in with the Nano.
Ooh, and that sleep dart is going to cost Weezy their life right there. The tackle was good to try to keep the Nano drying away from their team, but without that frontline shield to keep the rest of the team in play, it's going to be hard to hold strong. Hunter taking down Skittles. Oh my goodness, the quad
Hunter, the
coming in from Hunter. That mad lad indeed, shutting everything down as Sentimental gets the final pick. They will push pretty much flawlessly into objective number 2, giving them almost 6 minutes to move into objective number 3.
But we do see that Game of Thrones is coming up with 6 ults.
Oh man! Like, I know I said beep, beep, reverse sweep, but I didn't say beep, beep, break the door down like Big Bird. Holy goodness.
My ultimate is ready to be unleashed.
Like, that's
break the door down like Big Bird.
Like, that's the meme that I'm thinking of. You hear the knock, knock, and then there's Big Bird kicking down your door, and that's Sentimental right now. Just literally, like, kicking down Game of Thrones' door here on the defense. This is just, oh, man. Absolute mad lad on that tank right now. Hunter getting stressed in the back line as we see the two tanks counter, tackling one another. Nano comes in on Squeezy as Crazy Lady able to get a double kill with that tower, but the Bob in the back line. Oh no! Oh no! C9! They were so concerned about pushing them back. Hunter just flew over them, landed on the payload, and just pushed it the rest of the way in.
Little sneaky reverse sweep and or not reverse sweep,
man.
Back cap in the C9. That was just absolutely crazy.
That is true. 4 minutes 40 seconds on the clock.
Such a dominant showing.
Rising. Shoot, don't talk about rising. This is like freaking rocket going into outer space. Like unlimited. It's over 9,000. That's the kind of fury that we're seeing coming out from Phoenix Rising right now. And I really hope that Game of Thrones has an answer to this.
Jack, I'm actually pretty sure that the over 9,000 was a misread. I'm pretty sure it was just supposed to read over 900, but the VA accidentally read it as 9,000. I'm like 95% sure that's the actual origination of that line.
I honestly have no idea. I'm old and I just know memes.
You're an old man, Jack.
I'm an old man in this year. You know, you hit 30 and then it's all downhill as a gamer at that point. You know.
Only when you hit 30?
Yeah, only when you hit 30. No pro leagues. I mean, come on, Ninja's like mid-20s. He's getting there. I mean, I guess you got some good ones. Like, you got Captain Sparkles. I guess you can do, like, Minecraft. Oh man. And that big pick to start things off. Stress getting the double kill on Kobayashi and Hunter's Ghost on that Widow. Not going to be a good way to to start off the defense there for Phoenix Rising. Now Sentimental and the rest of the Phoenix Rising are on the back foot as they go ahead and push in. Hunter's Ghost immediately swapping over to that Widow as well. So we're going to see a sniper v sniper battle as a Dynamite coming in from Paprika. Sentimental charging in, not getting a whole lot of value out of that, but holding strong here at the corner. Now we see Hunter and Stress on the high ground with one another, trying to get away. Hunter's trying to get that pick onto Stress, who is going to win it out the oof battle as Weezy able to tackle down Sentimental. Hunter starts off the oof battle, taking down Stress as the rest of the team falls to lock down the objective with a minute off of the clock for Game of Thrones.
Very quick swap for Hunter, just deciding, hey, Bear's not going to work here. I'm just going to switch to Widow. Take up, you know, one of their other positions. So that way we can start off the match in a 6v5.
And it looks like they're going to be moving back into the objective, but with Weezy already down, Nano going in on to Sentimental, looking to swing for the stars right now. Takes down Sirius, moving back into the objective. Sentimental is just like not, they're not matching up their name right now. Just like, what Sentimental means like nice and understanding, and Sentimental's like, nope, I'm gonna take my hammer and I'm gonna add it to your face, and then you're gonna die.
And then you're gonna die.
And then you're gonna die. Get it!
Get dead. That's coming out for Stress here. No way to answer for Hunter though. Fast header!
Easy with, yeah, always gotta anticipate the counter chatter. Beat coming in to try to cancel out the tack visor coming in from Crazy Lady, but the damage is not coming in hard enough to take down Sentimental Shield and force them back. A minute 35 remaining on the clock as they move in. Anti-Nade comes in, not able to do a lot of anti-Need. Hunter able to get the pick on the Weezy as the shield falls, and they will go ahead and push them back to spawn once again. Minute 20 remaining on the clock.
On my way.
We're just seeing a completely different Phoenix Rising than what we're used to here, and it's, I swear it's all because of the main tank. I will swear by that. I will die on this hill, Jack.
You will?
I will die on this hill.
You sure when you walked away during the break there wasn't a conversation in that digital locker room about what was going on?
I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that. I used my control. I was good the entire time.
Lock shatter as the Graviton comes in. Transcendence trying to keep Weezy as they charge away the nanoed Rhine. And they will finally unlock the payload after it was stalled for so long. Hunter now moving over to the Doomfist for what looks like final fight territory as we enter into objective number 1. And it's really going to come down to a lot of good coordination. Shatter coming in from Weezy, big old tackle, taking them and Sentimental off the side of the map. D-Drop now in as the Deadeye comes in from Stress, gets taken out by Hunter. Bob now invested on the objective with no shield to protect. Paprika is raining down a bullet. Overtime takes away Crazy Lady trying to touch the objective, but I don't think it is going to be enough. We'll get uppercutted off the objective, and they will take this map. Phoenix Rising starting that reverse sweep 1-2 here on Rialto.
Beep beep with the reverse sweep.
Play of the game.
Indeed.
knock on wood there.
Well, it was like my wife was saying during halftime. She was like, every time you say beep beep reverse sweep, I think of that Diddy beep beep I'm a sheep. And I was like, beep beep reverse sweep, beep beep reverse sweep. Oh yeah, beep beep reverse sweep, beep beep reverse sweep.
Well, you know, Jack, thanks for bringing me back to when I was a little kid, and that was actually a viral video.
The early days of YouTube, I was already an adult,
early
and
days
now
of
I feel
YouTube.
super old.
Okay, but you wanna talk about viral videos? Just like anything in the beginning of YouTube was pretty much a viral video.
Pretty much. It's like, whoa, there's like this video online I can watch. Wow. It's incredible. And they just make these things. Amazing. All right. Looks like Big Naughty in the chat saying reverse, let's go. And I have to say, it's definitely not just the. I feel like it's not just the main tank Sentimental, although Sentimental is doing an incredible job on that main tank off roll. We definitely are seeing a lot more cohesion with Phoenix Rising, and I'm honestly I'm a little surprised that Crazy didn't swap back over to the Junkrat. That would have been a huge answer to the defense that was being set up from Phoenix Rising, because the biggest issue that they had with the Widow and Soldier is they couldn't take down Ryan's shield to push Sentimental and the rest of the team back. You know, you got to invest that damage into shield break, and if you don't, then you're gonna see that that stall right there. That really it's gonna come down to either trying to get picks from behind or Wheezy getting that shatter in when the fire strike comes down. You know, so I'm really hoping that Game of Thrones switches things up, might be able to end this reverse sweep before it becomes a complete beep beep. But we're headed to Volskaya for our next map. And LL Cool J in the chat saying they played a reverse and a draw 4.
No, you.
No, you. I've never. Oh, you have activated my trap card. Oh, that would be deadly in Uno, though. If you had a reverse
A
draw
trap
forward card.
Oh, a reverse draw forward.
A reverse draw 4. Like, man.
Do you know how much of a demon you would be if you ever played that on someone?
I'm sure my wife would more than likely be on the receiving end of that most of the time. It's just the way that we are in games. Like sometimes she'll support me, and then I'll just turn around and be like, "No, you." And by support, I mean totally try to screw me over because we're competitive like that. So
You're competitive like that.
We're competitive like that. As I get stares from the couch behind me, I can feel it on the back, the nape of my neck. Oh,
Stairs? Hold on, Jack. Stairs or glares?
more like daggers. I can feel the pain in the back of my neck. Oh.
They're just kind of there, just poking at you,
just
little by little.
Me. I love her to death, though. As you all might remember, what would it have been, like almost 2 years ago now, babe? I actually proposed to her on this channel.
Ooh,
yeah,
on
like at the end of the game, on this channel with a ring pop. That's how cool I am.
Oh, that's there's nothing you can do there. That is the pinnacle of cool.
That's the top tier of gaming proposals there, folks. Can't top that. Well, it looks like our teams are getting ready to go. So Senpai in the chat is just like, dive. I want dive. Just Senpai wants to see somebody go dive tonight. So I mean, I don't know. I'll try to push it out through my psychic caster curse abilities. Go dive. Full a two-sided dive. Num.
I will I mental link.
Exactly.
Mental link with my own
get the
team.
Caster curse going strong. But
I think we're just waiting here on Game of Thrones. I'm kind of curious as to what they're gonna come up with here, because we haven't seen the sim TP strat around the side very very often lately. So who knows? They might come up with something wacky.
That is true. That is true. It would be interesting to see that work out for them. I mean, I think typically people don't use the Symmetra strat because it's just used so often, and instead just go for like the Death Ball Symmetra strat, where you just go on top of the bunker and then just go straight into point and then fight on the point. So I feel like that's more useful of your time because it takes so much time to set up the TP and then go the long way around to be able to get to the objective. And then by that time, if the defensive team is actually paying attention, then they'll just meet you on the other side.
But who said they're paying attention?
True, that's true. But I mean, after about like 5-10 seconds of you not seeing anybody, you probably should be questioning if they're behind you. I feel like that's kind of a given at that point. It's like, man, where's the enemy team?
Maybe they're just like maybe they could be trying to big brain you, right? Not show up, and then they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be on the other side. So you rotate around, and then they all just rush through.
They just come through the that I would love to see such a big brain play like that. That would be. I have seen the double fake so many times as a caster before, where you see them like rotate one direction and then they just stop, and then the other team goes to try to rotate with them, and then they just totally reverse and then just go behind them instead. It is beautiful to see when executed flawlessly, because you just hear yakety sax just playing in the background like
that's called yakety sax.
Yeah, that's the name of the song, is yakety sax.
It looks like both teams are ready here though.
Woohoo! All right, let's go ahead and head into Volskaya Industries.
Traveling to Volskaya Industries.
Senpai insistent dive. Just do it. I just see the Shia LaBeouf meme. Just do it. Just do it. Oh, and we already are requesting a pause on the field. Oh no! It looks like we ended up losing Hunter
classic,
there.
The classic crash. So Jack, I'm not sure if you knew about this, but Hunter plays on integrated graphics, and he has yet to get a new graphics card. So every once in a while, his PC will just randomly crash, and it's just become a meme to the point where like no one on PR even cares. They're not fazed by it whatsoever. It's just, oh, Hunter's crashed.
I mean, I guess as long as it's not during a fight, that's probably helpful. But if it's during like a major fight and you have ultimate, I feel like PR would be just a little sweaty about that one, just a little bit. I would be worried.
He never seems to crash in game. It tends to be only on menus.
Better knock on wood that never actually happened. Caster curse once again. Now that we've said it. Now that we said it, it always happens, folks.
It always happens.
Oh, goodness. Well, it looks like Sentimental is going to be swapping off of Tank, which I don't know if that is going to be well advised based on how last map went.
Ready for battle.
Maybe they'll be able to hold everything together. LL Cool J in the chat saying we are apparently ridiculous together, Zella, and I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, we're just two dudes. We're just two dudes just chilling out, enjoying some Overwatch, telling some dad jokes, and just doing our thing. It's just what we do. Just having a good time. I mean, it's an exhibition match, so we're not. I mean, this is just for the big brain brags, This is
the big brain brags.
The big Brian brags right there. The BBB.
Brian. Oh wait, hold on. Who's Brian?
The big Brian, man. Bigger than the big brain. The big Brian.
Big Brian. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Big Brian brags. All right. So we're seeing some Metra. Oh man, they were already coming up, trying to cut out Weezy, getting demolished right there. Oh, I have to turn away. Oh, that was
think of the children.
Think of the children. That was so fast. Like that Maywall came up from Darius, and then immediately you see Paprika just coming in like no more. Oh man, Senpai is like, is this dive? And you know what? As a matter of fact, it is dive. I have classified because Ryan has the charge ability. He is technically a dive character.
Dive Ryan.
The dive Volskaya. Here it is.
What I think was going through Paprika's mind was pretty much, you are being rescued. Please do not resist.
Hunter, I feel like Weezy was not appreciative of that rescue.
Please do not resist.
I'm just pointing that out right there. But Paprika swinging for the stars right now. The Nano gets invested. High Sentimental, big shatter coming in, trying to clean up. Stress gets the pick on the Sentimental as Mighty falls to Weezy. Coalescence now coming in for Sniper Life, and that is it. They might have got Objective Alpha quickly, but Objective Bravo is getting locked down as Sniper Life goes ahead and cleans it up. Only one ultimate to counteract the two that got invested. So works out pretty nice for them.
Well, they did use both Nano and Shatter there, so it was 2-2 ultimate wise. However, we do have the EMP coming on up, and I think they're just waiting for Hunter Ghost to finish up building that Diva Bomb, and then they're just gonna, you know, just boom.
That would definitely be a good way to work that out. So this is just gonna be some building push right here. If they get the objective, they get the objective, but they're coming in, swinging right now. Big shatter coming in, but gets frozen out by Darius. Sinks and Stress will go ahead and clean that up, but regardless of Weezy getting frozen out, they will take down Darius afterwards. 4 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock as Hunter still just about 20% shy of grabbing that Diva Bomb.
Pretty close to it. Let's see if we can get a little bit of use out of it. We also see SF coming up on the Lucio ult here, as well as Darius with the Blizzard. Jeez, I can't speak today. Game of Thrones having 4 ults in their back pocket.
And there's a big one there. That Nano Blade could absolutely devastate. Senpai excited. Is this the Genji? Here we go! And here comes the Blizzard. High Noon going in on the high ground. Ends up giving the D-Mech on to Hunter as we see the EMP and Blade coming in. No Nano needed. Six will get the double kill, but will fall to Darius. Weezy and Sniper Life finalizing the kills on the healers as Darius being the final to fall. Another minute off of that time bank as we see Game of Thrones locking down Objective Bravo.
We are seeing Paprika come up on the Shatter, so who knows, we might see it that way with Hunter already having their bomb in their back pocket.
That is true, but we've got the Graviton, Nano, Shatter, and Coalescence online. Game of Thrones just meticulously using those ultimates to their advantage, using just 1 or 2 to win out fights that many more are invested by Phoenix Rising. Let's see if they can make it happen. Weezy trying to call out the Shatter, but gets hacked, and the Shatter will come in. Diva Bomb as well takes down Stress, but Sniper Life again with the Coalescence just doling out damage. The Nano goes in on to Darius, only trying to keep them in the fight right now, but it's not going to be enough. As Skittles taking down their counter. Sentimental Kobayashi trade now for Sniper Life right there as the hack coming in onto Saria, trying to take them out, but Stress will get the double kill, followed by Skittles on to Darius with the anti-nade. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock as we have proven the caster telekinesis works, as Senpai says in the chat. We will it and it be done. We are all powerful.
We still see Saria holding on to that Graviton, though, with both the DPS ults coming on for PR. That might be what they're holding it for, not being able to, you know, follow up on any nice EMPs that Kobayashi might get.
That is true, and the EMP is online once again, which is very quickly built. Ooh, big Graviton coming in. The Maywall separates out, but it's not soon enough. Big old hammer coming in from Weezy as the rest of the team investing damage as well. They will shut down that push before it is able to get to the point. 1:40 remaining on the clock for Phoenix Rising.
You know, we still see 3 ults here for one side and 3 ults for the other. Or 4 ults, actually. It really depends on the ult usage that we see for both teams. Because 2 ults, 3 ults, 4 GOT could be enough that they need to secure the victory.
That is true. We're seeing the High Noon online. 6-man EMP with the Shatter to follow up from Paprika. This is exactly what they might need. High Noon now coming out from Stress as we see trying to hold on, but we see the bubble coming in, trying to save the day. Ends up getting just the DMAC right there. Sniper Life again with the Coalescence, having it just about every fight and just using it to decimate Phoenix Rising. They almost got that first tick, but it was not enough. Kobayashi now swapping over to the Genji with Paprika and Darius Fulton swapping over to
dive.
We are dive. We are getting the dive from Phoenix Rising, and I think it's just because they want to try to get a second push in here. Maybe if it doesn't work out for them, let's see if they can make it happen.
We do see the Nano here, so we might see a little bit of a Nano Monkey or a Nano Junkrat in this situation. And to be honest, that might be exactly what they need.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Here comes Winston into the objective. Shatter comes in, ends up getting 2. Tackle comes in. Mighty is out of the picture. So is Kobayashi and Hunter. With it being a 3v6, Darius gets the Nano, but it is not enough damage to keep things going. The only one left on the objective is Paprika. Overtime ticking away. Hunter able to get back on the objective to win, baby! As they just spin around the objective, but that anti-nade is going to take them down quick. Mighty coming in with the bead drop, but ends up getting stunned and killed out before that could happen, and Kobayashi not able to touch. Not a tick to be had by Phoenix Rising as we head into their defense.
But we still do have a win condition here, and that is hold point 1. We're not completely sure if that's going to be what we see here, especially with Senti just kind of, you know, not picking up the tank role like I was kind of expecting them to this map.
I was actually really surprised by that as well, as much as it worked out for them on Rialto. Seeing Sentimental swapping over to the heals just was really surprising. But I mean, it's not that Sentimental definitely hasn't been doing their job. It definitely has been working out for them, and they are bunkering down for their defense. It looks like they're going to be coming out with the Symmetra Bastion bunker. That's right. That's
the PR special.
That's the biggest of Brian's right there, coming out with that Bastion double shield. We're not original here, folks, but it looks like we are going to see the Symmetra teleporter also for the side of Game of Throws. Unfortunately, it's going to be a real big surprise when they end up on top of that bunker and get absolutely decimated by Darius. That's not going to be good for them.
Who knows? It depends on where Sinks is planning on teleporting, because for all we know, they could be teleporting around.
That is true. And it looks like they are. It looks like they're going to take the long path. The teleporter is up on both high grounds, though, for Phoenix Rising, so the Bastion has the ability to go back and forth, which is nice. And it looks like they're getting an idea of what's going on here. Got some eyes on.
I'm not sure if I agree with that rotation there, but it does seem that GOT is, you know, starting to get some point presence here until we see the fight break out on point.
That is true. Teleporter going into midpoint, trying to provide some TP back and forth for the main tanks, but Wheezy will go ahead and fall during that fight. Big beams coming out, trying to take down Hunter while they were using the suck ability, but going to be unsuccessful right there. Teleporter trying to get into that side room, but doesn't end up working the way they're hoping. And now Darius setting up outside of the teleporter on the right side as the push comes back in.
You know, we do see the push come back in, but Darius needs to be within that teleport range for him to be able to go. And what I would just recommend is, instead of, you know, walking out of the teleporter like he has been, just teleport between the two teleporters instead of directly on top of it.
That is typically the best way to do that, and it looks like that's what they're doing right now. The Symmetra wall comes up for Kobayashi, and right now it's looking like a complete lockdown of this objective right now, as they just continue to send members of Game of Thrones back to spawn.
Well, we are seeing 5 ults here on the side of Phoenix Rising, whereas we're seeing 4 here for Game of Thrones. But, you know, those 4 ults won't be super useful if they can't get up close and brawl with PR.
All right, well, they're moving back into the objective. Teleporter coming up. Rabbinic Flux coming in from Hunter Ghost. Ends up getting the double kill onto Skittles and Zing as Sentimental and Paprika go ahead and get some additional kills. Hunter getting the last one there onto Sariat. The Sentimental able to take down Sniper Life. That is going to be it for them. Minute 20 remaining on the clock as they go ahead and continue to lock down Objective Alpha.
I feel like PR might have blown their load just a little bit too early there. They did use 3 ults in that fight, which isn't always advisable, but we are seeing Game of Thrones here move over to the right side on their perspective and try and challenge them directly.
That is true. That would be the best way to get them off that high ground, but now we got this long hallway and a ulting Bastion right now. We see now Stress on the objective solo, but gets taken out by Mighty very quickly. As we see now, the coalescence coming out from Sniper Life. It is popped off big before, but the heals are just too strong for Sniper to do what's needed. Tackle coming in after the shatter. Ends up getting the pick onto Hunter's Ghost, but will end up falling to Paprika in the end. Rez now coming in for Hunter to bring them back in. Shatter coming in onto Sarius. Will go ahead and possibly, just barely get away. Sarius able to survive just long enough to then get taken down by Paprika after getting charged up a little bit. Not a good place to be. Only 10 seconds remaining on the clock as Sleepstar comes in. Wall now coming in from Kobayashi trying to provide some support as we now see Six coming in on the Doomfist trying to see if they can punch out those lasers. Will uppercut into oblivion after getting lasered to death by Kobayashi. And Phoenix Rising will win this map, tying it up 2-2 here on Volskaya Industries.
Play of the game.
And we do see Hunter picking up play of the game, most likely with that nice clean double kill that we saw earlier.
That was beautiful. That was a great way to be holding that objective. Those Gravitic Fluxes hard to get kills on if you don't have a lot of damage going in to take them down to at least half health before they end up falling. So we're headed into a map 5, folks. So go ahead, start blowing up the chat with who you want to see take it away. Do you want Phoenix Rising to continue their reverse sweep, taking it away this evening? Or do you want Game of Thrones to go ahead and throw it back into their favor, taking away tonight's exhibition match? Our final map of the evening is going to be
Nepal.
Ooh. That's always a nice map to play. So peaceful and tranquil and full of death, destruction, and mayhem. I mean,
bullets.
It's just
don't forget the bullets.
many bullets. So many bullets, lasers. Sometimes big explosions too. I mean, come on,
some electricity maybe.
a little bit of electricity. I mean, what other peaceful, tranquil place could you think of that has all those amazing things?
Junkertown?
Yeah, we pretty much got that covered with Junkertown.
Nepal.
Oh man.
Hanamura maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we could pretty much name off every place that Overwatch has been. It's pretty much the same anywhere you go, unfortunately. Whether peaceful or complete carnage, Overwatch will be there to just fill it up with bullets and death. Don't you worry about it, folks.
On the plus side, though, we do know that all of these encounters in games are all non-canon, so that's always a plus.
That is true. I mean, it is interesting to hear some of the conversations that they have, even though it's not canon. I think the most recent one that I've heard that gave me a little chuckle was Sombra, when you have a Hammond on your team, and she goes like something about of all the jobs I've had to work, now I have to work with this rat, or something like that, and then Hammond just makes a noise, and Sombra's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
But there's a couple of really, really funny interactions. I think my favorite probably has to be when there's a Winston and a Tracer on the same team, and it's just, is everything going okay with your Chrono Accelerator? Just kidding. It's fine.
Oh my! Like, could you imagine being Winston in that situation though? Oh my gosh, my heart would just like drop because like that's his tech. Like he was the one that was able to stabilize Tracer, and just to find out that it's not working again would just, oh man, that's cold, Tracer. You might
It's
as well be
cold.
May
It's
because
cold, but it's
that's
hilarious.
cold. All right, we're just waiting for the teams to ready up. So looks like we just getting some love for going to map 5. Nobody cares who wins, apparently. So
But you know what, we might as well say it now, for chat at least, to start popping off in the chat with who you want to see as the player of the match. We do usually have that big delay, so it's easier for us to do it here during map 5, or at the beginning of map 5, than it is to just kind of sit here and wait and try and fill for 2 minutes.
That is true. We could go ahead and do that, but I mean, hope there aren't many really big plays for us to worry about afterwards. So, I'll go ahead and start us off. I think I'm going to have to give some love to Stress tonight. Playing on their off roll, just absolutely popping off on DPS. Though, the first half pretty much might as well have been the Stress show right there. Partnered up with either Sinks or Crazy Lady, was just getting pick after pick. Regardless of what situation. Big 4K that we saw on the ground on Elios, just absolutely huge. So Stressed, even though you remind me of how I feel right now, and probably how many of us feel right now, you're taking away my player of the game tonight.
Jack, I was saying for the chat to tell us MVP, not for us to go through MVP, but I completely agree with you on that one. Stress is doing very well at this tonight. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going in to our map 5.
All right. Well, see, I thought you said since we weren't just going to fill for 2 minutes that's what we were going to do. So.
Oh no, I was just saying it's a lot easier for us to ask chat now.
Oh, instead of trying to do it at the end. Yes, That makes sense. Well, it looks like Big Naughty and a Suicidal Stick saying Sentimental easily the MVP, literally switched gears for PR, and it looks like Sentimental is actually
back on their tank brand.
Yes, well, Sentimental is actually a player after my own heart because they are technically a flex player. So although for Phoenix Rising they solely play DPS, they're pretty much good at every character in the game, or at least every role in the game, for the most part. So
not as much as I get called a McCree one trick, I'm actually comfortable with all roles as well, Jack.
Are you sure though?
Yeah,
I mean,
McCree one trick.
But you are called McCree one trick. Are you sure about that?
I'm very sure. Do you want to take me one?
No, I'm just giving you crap, man. All right, it looks like we're heading into Nepal Sanctum to start things off, and it looks like we're getting some very interesting composition here coming out from Phoenix Rising. We got the Hog Winston, and I can't say that that's a combination that we see very often.
I can't say it is either, but we do see Hunter opening up with Crazy, just kind of leading them, but Weezy follows up.
That is a good way to start things off. Kobayashi sending Stinks over the side right there, as Mighty able to finish off Seriath as well. It looks like Phoenix Rising will go ahead and, or not. I was gonna say grab control of the objective, but they care too much about getting picks right now to actually get on the dang it. And we have two of them just sitting off the objective, just like sitting,
looking at it.
Oh my god!
That's some PM if I ever saw some. It's not very, that's not very sportsman-like PR. Come on.
What's the opposite of a C9? Well, like, essentially just denying capping the objective. Is that like a D9?
Well, I couldn't really tell you because it originates from, the team C9.
That's true. That is true. I didn't think of that, but ooh, big picks coming in for Sari at the trap. Oh man! And Mighty almost falling off with the nano. That would not have been good. Big boops though coming in from Mighty right there. Sends Stress right over the edge, but it looks like the picks are coming in. Bob getting invested by Paprika, although off the objective, still providing a whole heck of a lot of damage. Now Diva Bomb coming in from Wheezy, able to take the Bob out of the picture, but Kobayashi following up on Saria. Diva Bomb, or Beat Drop rather, coming in from Sings. Stress able to get the double kill on Kobayashi, and Hunter Scope is just a complete trade right now between these two teams as Control continues to hold strong for the side of Phoenix Rising. It looks like Mighty and Sentimental will go ahead and lock down those final 2 kills, heading us into final fight territory, 75% in climbing for Phoenix.
Not only that, but we are seeing 2 ults on either side. Crazy Lady coming up on a 3rd here. Who knows, we might be able to see a nice little ult combo coming out for Game of Thrones.
The big E coming in from Wheezy ends up taking down Hunter's Ghost's Barrage, but not able to hold up all that damage from Sentimental. That's gonna be, oh no! They pushed them back with those ults so much that no one could touch the objective. 100-0 for Phoenix Rising, and I just want to let you know, Zella, you're getting called out in the chat by LL Cool J, saying, can confirm Zella sucks just as much on the other characters as he does on McCree.
I feel insulted here, okay? That makes me feel bad. You hurt my feelings, LL. I'm disappointed in you.
Well,
I'm not mad, just disappointed.
I was being nice and just trying to get you to question whether or not you could flex, and Cool J just calls you out directly. So. All right, getting back into the action. Looks like Sentimental and Mighty will go ahead and come in on that Ryan Zarya this time around. Hunter and Kobayashi still on that Pharah Mercy, providing so much air support, and Crazy and Stress is having a hard time taking them down this time around.
But we do see Crazy opening up with Sentimental, but Paprika following.
That is true. Stress and Hunter trade blows as well as the Mercy and McCree Ball is a 4v4 fight right now on the objective. Crazy able to take down Hunter's Ghost as they were just kind of trying to dole in damage from on the ground of the objective. Big old sleep dart coming in on the Skittles, but the fight is already won as Game of Thrones starts their percentage climb.
But, honestly, we're seeing a lot of ults, already starting to come online. Skittles 90 to their lovely Ambient. Never mind, they have it. Darius also coming up with their Nano.
Alright, tackles coming in for either side. A Sentimental comes in, big shatter, able to take down Skittles as well, and that is the, tech visor, but Hunter's Ghost takes down Crazy before they're even able to save sights, and the objective will get swapped over at the 30% mark to the side of Phoenix Rising.
LL saying that they have to BM me just a little bit. I'm the entire reason that they're in OCC.
Well, at least they were nice enough to say that they put a heart at the end of it.
True, they did put a heart at the end of it. Doesn't change the fact that it still hurts my heart.
more like a broken heart, eh? The tackle coming in, but gets moved away by a Zinx. Graviton Barrage comes. Wait. That's a big oof right there. Hunter was so close. The Barrage ended up taking them out, before they could kill anybody. They were so
You ever
close to
just
the
barrage
graviton.
yourself, Jack? You ever just barrage yourself?
No, I can't say that I ever have, actually. Wouldn't that be crazy if you could just barrage into the sky and then it just comes back down on you?
That'd be kind of scary.
Oh my gosh, that'd be nuts to see. Alright, well, Control has swapped back over as we were goofing there to Game of Throws. 44% and climbing right now as they try to fight them off. An anti-nade coming in on Stereo. It's going to allow Paprika to get that pick. Oh, Graviton Surge and Amp Matrix, but without that Rhine to swing into that, going to be hard to hold strong. Bob getting infested by Paprika as we see the pick onto Skittles with the Dynamite as they continue to try to hold on to seize the objective. Folks, keep it in your favor right now. Big shatter coming in right there from Seriath as the attack visor comes in from Crazy Lady, trying to follow up on some damage to get to the double kill, looking for that triple. Gonna find Mighty, get that triple and hold off the objective. 80% and climbing for Game of Thrones.
Dude, sorry, I'm just laughing at LJ BMing everyone in the chat. We do have Kobayashi coming up with the Valkyrie. Who knows? Maybe Senti might be able to build up another ult here. But they gotta get in fast because they're at 95% already.
That is true. Deadeye coming out. Kobayashi shutting down the Valkyrie right there, or being shut down.
Shatter!
The Valkyrie. Big shatter, but not a lot of follow-up, and that immortality gonna keep everybody going. Overtime ticks away, and that is it. 1-1. We're seeing a repeat of Nepal, or we're on Nepal. Helios, folks. Seeing a repeat of Helios as we see 1-1 once again between Game of Thrones and Phoenix Rising, headed to the village for the final showdown.
This is quite literally the closest of a match that you can get. 1-1 on map 5. You never know. You never know. Both teams, as you can see, are just at it with each other.
That is true. I'm just continuing to read what LJ's saying in the chat, and joking. It's been a great year. I'm being nice. Sure. It's okay. You can tell us the truth there.
You can
LJ.
tell us how you really feel.
You can tell us how you really feel. It's okay. We won't judge you. But Hunter coming in with the Symmetra this time around, teleporting on top of the objective, trying to come from behind them, and it looks like with Game of Thrones already on the objective, not going to provide a whole lot of support in that way. Mighty taking down Serious, though, is going to put them in a prime position to take this objective, and they will get it as they continue to grab picks off the Game of Thrones. The only one to get away is Skittles, jumping straight up onto the high ground, and will successfully retreat back to the safety position.
No! But we do see Sentimental already 92% to that shatter, along with Kobayashi coming up on their Coalescence extremely efficiently with an 85%.
I mean, I feel like it's just the combination of Sentimental and the healers right now. Like, everybody's just going out of their way to support Sentimental. It looks like we need to pause. Pause.
All the pauses.
All the pauses. Not for certain what's going on. Tactical P's, folks. 35% right now for the side of Phoenix Rising as we wait and see what's going on. Some kind of solid mistake.
A mistake. Oh, I think I know exactly what this is. I think I know what's going on. But it looks like teams are ready now. Jack, I will discuss it with you after the stream.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
That we're just getting ready from the teams here.
All right. Well, with those ultimates coming online, and especially having Hunter's Ghost on that Symmetra, it's going to be really difficult for them to push back into this. Stressed and Skittles now coming in on the Far Mercy themselves. And I've never personally understood why running Far Mercy on this map is ideal, because the objective is just inside. Oh! Big shatter coming in after a sleep from Darius Bolt to take down Wheezy. Not going to be able to follow up on anybody else's Stress. In the sky, able to take down Sentimental as well. Both Rhines out of the fight right now as the Far Mercy just trying to rain in damage from above. But that's not going to really help them get into this objective with all those Symmetra turrets around. Wheezy trying to push in before Sentimental is able to get back as Coalescence now comes out from Kobayashi. Sarius able to take down Paprika. Sentimental follows up on Wheezy. Hunter grabbing Sarius. The res comes in onto Wheezy, but the damage has already been done. The Winston is a great counter to all those Symmetra turrets, but not the raw damage coming out from Sentimental right now. And at the 90% mark, we are headed into final fight territory.
Especially looking, with these Zim buffs that came through, Zim is just so strong now that it's insane.
That is true. Graviton B getting traded out right there, trying to keep Sirius up in the fight. Shatter coming out. It's the 3 as they try to hold on to this objective. Wheezy takes down Darius in the backline. That might be exactly what they need. Angry Monkey coming out for Wheezy right now, just trying to push everyone off the objective. Ends up getting the pick on the Hunters. Goes as the turret takes down Stress. That wall is holding up the damage right now, trying to keep everything going. Is a 4v2 right now on the objective as Mighty, and Darius trying to hold off, or Kobayashi rather. Dynamite coming in from Paprika from behind, able to get the pick on the Skittles. The Crazy Lady falls to Mighty. Now the Dice have turned the rest of the team back into the action, just so close to switching it back in the favor of Game of Thrones, but they will get locked out once again. Phoenix Rising taking tonight's match just as they did last week, 3-2. Here,
reverse sweep as well.
That's right, big reverse sweep right here.
Very strong plays coming out from everyone on these teams. But Jack, as we were saying, with everything going on, would you care to repeat your lovely player of the match?
Yes, I will. I have to give some love to Stressed for Game of Thrones. Just even though it didn't work out so well in the second half, they were doing an incredible job in the first half, getting pick after pick on that McCree, partnered up with Crazy Lady, or Sinks. Were just able to, decimate Phoenix Rising during the first half. It was really hard to see Phoenix coming back from that, but I do have to give some mad props to Sentimental as well. Just came in and completely turned this whole thing around, whether on tank or healer. Just did an incredible job with positioning, countering shatters, absorbing shatters, sleeping Rhines, just back and forth. Just worked out very well for Phoenix.
And as I was as you were alluding to earlier, I'm gonna have to give my player of the match to Sentimental, mainly because of the fact that, kind of as Big Nashte was saying, they completely switched gears for Phoenix Rising, changed up how the entire game was being played, and I feel like that's one of the big reasons why PR was able to take the reverse sweep in today.
Well, as I always like to say, tip your flex players, folks, especially in open queue. Flex players are the best players to have because they literally practice everything. It's good to be a jack of all trades, so to speak. I know the rest of that. I know the rest of that is master of none, but I mean,
well,
hey,
actually, there's a third line to it. And that is better than a master of none, or better than a master of none, or no, one. There we go.
That's true. So, be like Captain Jack. Don't be like Zella McCree one trick.
Hey.
That's all we got.
You hurt my feelings, Jack.
But I love you, Zella. I was just joking with you. All right. Going into our schedule for the upcoming week, we are at the finals for Stage 2 Shimada Finals taking place on August 22nd, this upcoming Saturday. Sunday, we'll follow up with the Black Watch Finals on the 23rd, and Monday, a week from today, on the 24th, we will see the Deadlock Playoffs, seeing which 3 teams, Earth, Wind, and Fara, Phoenix Rising, or Game of Thrones, will walk into the finals match on the 31st. So be sure to hit that heart, punch that bell, hit that subscribe button, whatever it is y'all can do to support our amazing community. Thank you so much for Trippy for producing our match tonight. That's it from us here at Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. I'm Captain Jack.
And I'm Zell, the dirty one trick Cree.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.